Hello everybody, it's Rick down in Charlotte. You know, I do a lot of time teaching wealth management, and right now for all my realtor and lender clients, we got to have more value for the client. We got to separate ourselves from the competition, and I don't want to be a commodity. I don't want to be about price. I want you to all have a full high commission. I want you to have a lot of staff, and I want you to create a great experience. So today we're going to do a separate video about how to accumulate wealth by owning a home. So let's take out a piece of paper and let's do a couple scenarios. The first scenario is an entry-level person. They buy a house for $200,000. They buy it FHA. They put 3.5% down. So the down payment's going to be roughly about $6,500. So the $6,500 is the down payment. It's also the investment. So show the client it's the down payment and the investment. If the house goes up 10% over 5 years, 10% on 200 grand is 20K. So it went up 20K in 5 years. That's super conservative. That's 2% a year. The average house goes up 3% a year. So a $200,000 house, FHA with $6,500 down payment, goes up 10% over 5 years. It made 20%. Now the question you have to show the client, what is the ROI? Letter R, letter O, letter I. This stands for return on investment. Well, the investment is not 200 grand. The investment is 6,500. So that house over 5 years made 20K on a 6,500 investment. So if you do the math, that's 250% ROI. Wow! You buy a house FHA, you keep it 5 years, you sell it, you made a 250% return. Now the AROI, the annual return on investment, 5 into 250 is 50% return annually. Wow! Unbelievable. Entry-level people have to buy a house. You have to own a home. I show this to all my employees, all my little first-time homebuyer seminars. You have to own a home to maximize your investment as part of accumulating wealth long-term. The greatest wealth in the world is real estate. The second greatest wealth in the world is the stock market. So you got to own a home as much as you can afford. Now let's say it's one of our core members and you buy a house for $1 million. You make $350, you buy $1 million house, you put 20% down to eliminate the PMI. The investment is $200K. So the down payment and the investment is $200K. The same house goes up 10%. So it made $100,000 appreciation in 5 years. What's the return on investment? Well, you invested 200, you made 100. So that's a 50% return on investment annually. Annually divided by 5 would be 10% annually. So a big house with 20% down, you make a 10% return on your investment annually. That's way better than the stock market. It's way better than a rental property. Now because home ownership is still deductible, you get to deduct that house payment and get a third of it back. So that $800,000 mortgage, instead of being $6,000 a month, is really $4,000 a month. Just like that entry-level house of $1,600 is really $1,100 a month. So you got to show them the tax deduction for the net payment, and you got to show them appreciation at 2% a year on the investment, not on the sales price. So in the stock market, your $10,000 goes up. In the real estate market, your $10,000 buys a $200,000 house with 5% down, buys a $100,000 house with 10% down. So it's a leveraged investment. So a house is like a margin account on a stock market with no risk. So owning a home is the greatest investment in the world, better than anything ever. You've got to show your clients how much investment they're making on buying this house. That will get them off the fence. Doesn't matter what the rates are. Doesn't matter what the economy is doing. Buying a house is the greatest investment you can ever have in your life. It's the most important thing. Luxury primary real estate is the best investment ever in the world. So for my core members, you need to buy 2.5 to 3 times what you make. I don't care what the sales price is. For your employees, they need to buy a house 2.5 to 3 times what they make, and they need to buy FHA. I need to get in the game. Less down payment is a better return on investment in real estate. So those are my thoughts on making real estate an investment. I would show it to every client to show them the value of home ownership to get them off the fence. See you soon. Rick Ruby out.